Did you ever say yes to something that really didn't feel that great? Then you regretted it the next day. Just so you know, you didn't fail or disappoint anybody. Your energy just wasn't clear. To give a little context to this, when we knew that we were ready to make a life change and go full-time RVing, I knew inside I needed to ride my emotional wave. And if you're not clear what that means, the emotional wave, drop me a note in the comments and let me know if you'd like to hear more about this. But I rode my emotional wave so that I can discover, where am I in this decision of going full-time RVing? And it lasted a couple of weeks. I went from being so excited and I couldn't wait to tell everybody, and I wanted to share the moment with my friends' kids that were buying the house, to, oh my gosh, are we making the right decision? Is this going to work out for everybody? Will the kids hate the house? Will they love the backyard? So I allowed myself time and space to ride that wave and come to a decision that was right and correct for us. Now, not every decision is going to have you riding your emotional wave up and down. Sometimes it'll happen very quickly. Sometimes it'll happen instantaneously, depending on how big the decision is. I also learned a really big lesson in that moment, that my excitement didn't necessarily mean a yes. For instance, they could have said that wasn't the path that they wanted to go, and I needed to be okay with that. In order to be okay with whatever the decision was, I needed to ride my emotional wave. I needed to consider, am I going to be okay if it doesn't work out the way that I think it will work out? Now, what I just described to you a moment ago are the three phases of the emotional wave. First, we have high hope. Then we have doubt and maybe disappointment. And then we have clarity and calm. A real life example you may be facing as a woopreneur are what your courses will be about, deciding on a partnership. So for instance, you meet someone and you think that you're a perfect match. Maybe your human design even aligns or is similar to yours, which, by the way, that is not always the case in partnerships. But you're feeling really good about this person you just met. You're noticing that they have several interests that are right in alignment with your business interests and your business goals. You've always wanted a partner. You've wanted someone to align with that is like-minded, maybe an accountability partner of sorts, maybe a creative energy partner, and you are all in. So next you have to ride your emotional wave about this idea that you have. So we start off really, really high. Everything's aligning, everything matches up, we have the same interests, the same goals, and then they say one thing or they don't return your call or your text when you thought they should, and so you start doubting, you start fearing, you start wondering, is everything just in your head or is this for real? And then we get to a moment of clarity. Wow, I feel really good about this person. Maybe they're just meant to be a brief engagement in my life, or maybe they're meant to be a partner. And either way, this moment is in perfect alignment. What am I learning in this moment about this joy that I'm feeling? What if we do develop into business partners? How will I feel? What if I find out that our conversation was a bunch of yes statements just to be kind and friendly, and they really have a totally different agenda in their business? All of it is in alignment. All of it teaches us something about what we want and what we're looking for in our business and in life. And when we get to that place of clarity that no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay, because the awarenesses it brought to me were in perfect alignment and exactly what I need, exactly when I received it. That is a high-level description of the three phases of the emotional wave. So many times in my videos, I like to do an embodiment exercise that helps you to tap into what does feel good, what is in alignment. And it's a very simple exercise. You can do it with me now. Close your eyes or just have a gentle gaze off into the distance and just allow your eye muscles to just relax as you're gazing or when you close your eyes. From here, you're just going to take 4 to 5 deep breaths in through your nose, and we're going to hold, and then breathe it out through your mouth. Doing this 3 to 4 times regulates your nervous system. And when our nervous system feels regulated, clarity can come. Now, because you're focusing on your breath, breathing in and out, you have something that you're focusing on. Your mind is less likely to wander. If your mind does wander, however, just pause and allow yourself or your mind to process the information it wants to give to you. Acknowledge it by just saying, okay, let's think about that later. And then get back to your breathing. Do a couple more breaths and then see if you can reconnect with your body and release any tensions or confusions that are going on in your mind. And say, neutral is not boring. It's truth. Neutral is not boring. It is truth. These simple words will help calm your nervous system and level out so that you're able to find the clarity that you're looking for. This mantra helps you to feel better before you decide. And that is the goal, to feel better, aka feeling that alignment before you make a decision, before you make a move, and before you communicate your ideas. So what decisions do you have pressing right now that you're going to give a little more space and time to? Will it be today or this week? Allow it to just be still. If you are interested in learning more about my flow state manifesting technique, I encourage you to join me live on Fridays and Sundays here in YouTube. Bring your questions or send me your questions in advance. Just make a comment below and let me know, and I will address it in my next live. And as always, remember, stay centered, keep discovering your gifts to healing and curiosity. By the way, if you'd like to hear more about flow state manifesting, a technique that I, Princella Stringer, created based off of my personal experience, and after working with hundreds of clients that this has worked for,
every
I want to
Friday
invite
at
you
12
to a
p.m.
free
PST
training
and Sunday 10 a.m. PST.
Go to YouTube and search for the Woopreneur Collective. If you'd like to subscribe to my emails, go to princellastringer.com, click Flow State Manifesting, and I'll meet you there.